Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another perfume review video. My name is Naz. This is my channel Toiletterian. I bring to your attention fragrances and other stuff that usually not many people talk about them. They go on the radar, and I think at least you should do your research, find out for yourself, try it and see if they're any good to you. Today I have a little bit of different video. This is a fun video. It's not going to be a serious one. Well, I never take myself seriously anyway, and none of my reviews you or anybody else should take seriously. I just do these things to bring them to your attention, to your to know about them, and you know, you take it wherever you like. Okay, I do not review fragrances to tell you, okay, you have to buy it, or you should buy it, or you should get this, or you shouldn't get this. I don't do that. I just talk about them and let you decide what is good or not good for you. Okay, so today I have basically head to head with fragrance and a whiskey. Yes, this is another hobby of mine. I love a drink of whiskey, and I've been drinking whiskey on and off. I'm not a heavy drinker. I drink on occasions, and when I drink I like mainly beer and whiskey. I drink other drinks as well, but these two are my main go-to. And as I said, the whiskey is one of my hobbies. I've got a few of them. This is Jameson, the famous Irish whiskey. This is the basic one. It's very, as you know, my motto is, you know, you should get reasonable prices. This one is for under £20 for a bottle of whiskey. This is 700 ml or 70 cl, and it comes at 40%. This is Irish whiskey. There are a few different kind of whiskey in the world. Many of you will know this, but this one is very famous because it's one of very household name, Jameson, and it's come from Ireland. And my favorite whiskey is Scottish whiskey. Irish whiskey is second favorite, and then it goes to bourbon, American whiskey. That's my third choice. That's my taste. I'm not saying they are good or bad. I'm just saying in terms of taste, these things I like. Okay. Jameson or Irish whiskey has been around for decades or even millennia. They've been making whiskey in Ireland for nearly 800 years. So they were the first nation to make whiskey in the traditional way. And after basically Scotland is the second nation they started it, and other nations followed later on. So that's why I brought a Jameson, because they were the first to make whiskey, not Jameson in particular, but Irish whiskey. As I said, this is a 40%, it's a basic one, it's under £20, and let's see how it goes. And today's perfume or fragrance is the One Man Show Emerald Edition. One Man Show Emerald Edition. This is quite famous. Many people praised it, and I got it because many people recommended it to me. As you know by now, or at least few of you will know, House of Jacques Bogart and Ted Lapidus are my two favorite houses of all time for fragrances. And this one is the One Man Show Emerald Edition, Eau de Toilette, 100 ml. This one came out 2017 or 2018, one of them. So this is one of the latest one, and so this one is another flanker of the original One Man Show, which came out in 1980s. And I love the original one. I love the gold. There are many variations and many flankers. I almost have all of them, and this one I didn't, so I got it a few weeks ago, and we should see how it goes. So let me pour some of the whiskies. This is Jameson. As I said, this is the basic bottling. It's a gorgeous bottle, and this is the crystal glass. Okay, so the whiskey color itself is golden light amber color. It's a very pretty color. It's probably, it has been added to it color, because in Ireland and Scotland you're allowed to add coloring to your whiskies, which is I'm not a big fan of, but it's okay. So it's amber color. It's very pretty, and let's see how it smells. So I can smell some grain, very grainy, quite a little bit of syrupy smell to it. I can smell a little bit of citruses as well. In terms of smelling whiskey is very different from smelling perfumes, because whiskey smell is very subdued compared to perfumes. So that's why it's quite difficult to pick up notes. You will pick up notes after, you know, basically developing nose for smelling whiskies. When I started drinking whiskey in the beginning, I couldn't, for the life of myself, I couldn't pick up any notes. All I could smell was basically a little bit of alcohol, and that's it. But during the years, I started to notice things and try to distinguish between the notes, and now I can distinguish some of the notes. I'm still not an expert. I just drink the whiskey. I'm not an expert. I'm not a big basically collector, but I can distinguish some notes in there. So I can smell something sweet in there, sweet, some like a caramel, very light caramel sweet. It's a little bit of floral, so it's something like white floral, but very faint. Again, when I say these things, don't think it's the same as the perfume, because perfumes are much more pronounced and much louder than whiskey. The whiskey is much more subdued. It's very difficult to, especially if you're new to whiskey and never drink it before, it would be difficult to pick up notes. Okay, but it smells very pleasant. It smells very friendly. It smells very easygoing. Because some whiskies are, they smell a little bit. Shall we say, an acquired taste, but this one, Jameson, is very easygoing. It's quite simple. It's nothing complicated. Okay, so cheers. Let me just try a little bit. Okay, so because this one is a basic one and is the cheapest one in the lineup, and it's the basic one, it's the simplest one, you can feel some alcohol in there, which is understandable for the price point. And also I can taste some sweetness. I can taste a little bit of something like a vanilla in there, a little bit syrupy vanilla, not much, just a little bit. In terms of taste, as I said, this one is quite simple. It's not sophisticated, but is easy to drink. Many people will know this brand, will know this whiskey, and it's quite popular because of that, because it's very easygoing, it's very easy to drink. And I agree with it, it's very nice. Although my favorite whiskey is Scottish whiskey, especially Highland whiskey. I like Islay whiskies from Scotland, but they're not my big favorite, okay, because they're a little bit on the smokier side. I like them, but I drink them when I'm in the mood. But when I'm going for just a simple whiskey, I usually go for Highland Scottish whiskey, which is my favorite, as I said. Okay, so this one is quite nice. As I said, a little bit of vanilla. You can a little bit of sweetness, vanilla, a little bit of citrusiness, a little bit of graininess, and a little bit of floral taste to it, but quite simple. All right, let's go to the one-man show Emerald Edition, and this one I'll put it on the skin. Very good sprayer. Wow, compared to whiskey, this one is like 1,000 times louder. Okay, so this one is, as it says on the bottle, emerald, is very green. Okay, when I smelled it first, I thought, okay, this is very familiar to me where I smelled it, and then later on I realized this is very similar to Polo original. Some people call it Polo Green, and some people think that's a blasphemy. Obviously the name of it is Polo. Okay, so Ralph Lauren Polo, the original 1978 creation, one of my favorite of all times, and this is very close to it, very similar. I would say 90-95% similar to it. If you like Polo Green, you will love this because the smell is identical to the original one, almost, and also the performance is big. So this one, it doesn't disappoint in terms of performance because it's Jacques Bogart house. They always make big, bold and strong fragrances, and this is no exception. So it's got a little bit of citrus in there, but the citruses are a little bit faint. Okay, and it goes almost to the heart immediately, and you get green. So many green notes. I can smell some grassiness, I can smell woodiness, I can smell leafiness, I can smell some earthiness. There are so many aspects to this. It's quite complex, and it's a little bit on the soapy side as well. So if you like soapy, again, this is very nice. In terms of performance, this one goes around 8 to 10 hours, which is quite good. It's not as beastly as other one-man shows, but it's quite good. This one is all year round, but you can, basically anytime you like it. But I think a little bit only because of it's quite deep. It could be better for spring and autumn, but it's all year round, and no problem with that. In terms of age, this is definitely mature. It's quite manly. It's very manly. It's like a hairy-chested man. It's alpha male, and also it's 30 and up to be on the safe side because it's very mature nose. This is for developed, mature nose who appreciate complexity. Okay, but it's absolutely gorgeous. So it opens up like a meadow. Okay, so it's like you are in a meadow and you're walking through this meadow, and slowly the greenness and the darkness, the greenness and the grassiness and the leafiness and the earthiness slowly becomes darker and darker. So it's like you start with the open meadow, and slowly you're getting to a forest, and the forest is getting more crowded and more trees in it, and it's getting darker a little bit. And when you get to almost to the dry down, which is like 2-3 hours later, it becomes very dark, and it's like you're walking through a dark forest, which is very how should I put it? It's populated with so many greeneries, trees, so many leaves, different grass, different vegetations, different florals. There are so many things you can smell in there. But overall, it's gorgeous. I love green fragrances. Again, some of you will know this. House of Jacques Bouquet is one of my favorites anyway, and green fragrances is one of my favorite anyway. So I love this. I give it 10 out of 10 for what it is. Again, it's very similar to Polo Original or Polo Green, some people call it. I'm calling it Polo Green because some people find it easier to recognize. But the correct term is Polo, okay, the original. And for the price under £20, this is amazing value from only 100 ml, and it lasts you very good amount of time, basically all day. and it's very enjoyable. There's nothing harsh. When it opens up, it's a little bit on the harsh side, a little bit. Some people might find it a little bit offensive, but when it dries down, it becomes very mellow and becomes very basically smooth and very nice to smell. Wow, gorgeous. I highly recommend this. I recommend Jameson as well because, you know, as I said, this is an easy drink, especially for beginner. If you never drank whiskey before, this is a very, very easy to drink. All whiskies are acquired taste, because when I was younger, I tried whiskey a few times and I didn't like it, obviously because I didn't have a developed taste and nose. And now I'm in my 40s, I love it. It's just basically, I resonate with it, I like it very much, and I think they are one of the nicest drink to drink because they are quite complex, they are nice, they have history, there are so much gone to the making of the whiskey, especially when they are matured in a cask. Some of them, they mature for a very long time. This one I think is about 3 to 4 years old. It's not very old, but again has been to a cask and it's been distilled, and it's been this one is distilled I think 3 times for making it very smooth. So I'm recommending this one as well. Hopefully if you like this kind of video, I can do more whiskies in future in different with different fragrances. It's just something to bring to your attention, something to talk about, something to bring some information to the table and entertainment value. It's nothing to take seriously, okay? Alright guys, thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much as always to support me. If you like this video, if you find it entertaining, if you find it useful, if you find it informative, give me a thumbs up, subscribe for future videos, and I'll see you later. Bye bye bye.